Hello and welcome everyone. Am I loud and clear, audible as well? Loud, clear, seen and audible, I would say. Great. Seeing some thumbs up going. So thanks everyone for your time joining today and giving your valuable time to attend second episode of our Empower series. Um, and we have been conducting this series. The previous episode was about not-for-profit, and today we are talking about how technology can bring in possibilities into manufacturing businesses, right? So today we have a change of a format a bit. In the first episode, we had speakers talking about the technology and possibilities. Today we have changed a bit of a format and we have Ron from Wise, which is an ISV solution from Microsoft, going to speak about the what technology platform has to offer. And then we are going to interview Simon Wood, Managing Director of Bitzer, uh, on their experience implementing the Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain Management System in their organization. Let me introduce you to the panel. As I said, I'm Vinay Joshi. I'm Head of Sales for Application Services with Exigo Tech. And then we have Simon Wood, Managing Director, Bitzer Australia. Hi, Simon. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Thanks, Vinay. I'm glad to be here.
Great, same here. Thanks for joining and giving us your time for an interview today. And then we have Ron Gounder from Wise, who is a customer and partner lifecycle head customer and lifecycle partner lifecycle. Hi, Ron. How are you?
Good, thanks, Vinay. Thanks for having me on the show.
Great. We will also have Phil Mayer joining from Microsoft soon. I don't know whether Phil is already here or not, but he did promise me and he's always there to support us. So Phil would be joining as well from Microsoft, who would be available as a guest as and when required. Without keeping hold any further, let me hand it over to Ron to take us through what WISE is and how it can make a difference in manufacturing industry. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If Ron has to go and catch a flight, so he's a pretty busy person. So he requested to go first. So I said, no, not a problem. So Ron, over to you. You can take a control and then I will look into the questions.
Thank you very much, Vinay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron Gounder, Head of Customer and Partner Lifecycle here at Wise. So just a little bit about Wise, what really Wise is. Wise is a KPMG-owned business. Wise is built on Dynamics 365 Business Central, carefully curated by KPMG Australia in collaboration with Microsoft. So there's almost 150 years of KPMG services that really back this software to bring this to life. So without any further ado, I'll probably just go straight into the details and talk about this is a little story I always like telling people. What does the world without an ERP really look like for customers? A world without ERP is very unconnected for a business. That means you could have multiple different types of software that is running in a business. As you are growing that business, scaling upwards, you are thinking about there's a problem created in a small channel. So I'm going to go and solve that problem. I will go and buy an off-the-shelf product that's going to suit my needs today, and I'm going to continue to run with that product. Again, the next problem starts to occur, and so you go and get something that is inventory related, and you go and get an off-the-shelf product and put it in place that is completely unconnected to your financial systems. So all of a sudden you're faced with a situation where you don't have enough visibility into what the business is doing. Your CFOs, financial controllers, etc., don't really know how to get through and get the right amount of visibility and information before they can make some sound decisions about the businesses. Then it's the world with an ERP. A world with an ERP has got a continuous cycle where all of the various departments in that business are able to look at the data, make uniformed, have a standardized approach, make some decisions in real time because they're able to see all the information together. Where your customers are waiting for specific instructions on inventory, or you have orders to fulfill, or you need production planning to occur in your manufacturing businesses. It's a simple, unified system that holds brings all of that information together for everyone to take advantage of. You have your suppliers happy, you have your customers happy, and every minute of the day, you know how you are ticking along as a business because you can see that visibility through your ERP. Moving right along. So just a little bit on Wise. This is the complete picture. Wise is an ERP platform targeted for Australian market. Australia, we have launched in Australia and New Zealand, and we have all of the various modules such as your finance, your accounts payable, receivable, manufacturing, jobs, service management. Now, all inclusive of all of that in the ERP package, we are essentially based off a Microsoft product, which is Dynamics 365 Business Central, which allows us to have native integration to the Microsoft App Source, take advantage of all the apps that are listed on the Microsoft App Source for Dynamics 365 Business Central to extend the capability. We connect with all of the regular Microsoft tools in your M365, such as your Word, Excel, Teams, which allow you to collaborate a little bit better in your businesses and have that seamless flow of information. And again, Power Platforms, Power Apps. And the world of AI is changing, so there's a lot more that needs to be unpacked within manufacturing businesses, and there's so much that can be gained by just taking advantage of that AI solution. So Wise is essentially an ERP that can handle your entire business operations, right from your operations through to your financials, and produce all those beautiful reports that you can make decisions based on. Fundamentally, if I were to use an ERP for a business, what would be some of those main reasons you would employ an ERP? I would look at it from a data security perspective, standardize all of those data entry points and make sure it's every system that you are going to employ is going to be talking to each other. You've got this unified approach in your data set. There's operational efficiencies that get created. There's cost savings, obviously, because you're not spinning up individual different systems that are licensed separately, and then you have to go ahead and start to pay licenses. Whereas in one complete ERP solution, you'll just have that one singular subscription that you need to be concerned about. Enhanced collaboration. So if you've got everything in the one place, naturally your team members, your operations team, your finance team can all collaborate in the one space. It's a scalable solution that's promising growth for the business. As the business grows, the solution grows with you, and not a situation where you have unconnected systems, but then they all come to a grinding halt because the business is experiencing a significant growth. From a regulatory and compliance point of view, it is also important to have an ERP in your business because then you are able to trace everything. And for manufacturing businesses, traceability, especially in the food production arena, becomes a thing because you need to track based on expiry dates. You need to make sure you have batch controls in place. You need to know which ingredients went into which production process and which batches were added into those production processes. That level of traceability is super important in those manufacturing practices. Ultimately, the most important thing here is about customer satisfaction. When you are able to do the right things using your ERP in your business, you are able to keep your customers coming back to you and they're satisfied because you're able to meet the demand they create for you. You are able to plan your production. You are able to make those decisions in real time and keep those customers happy every single time. If we were to look at, I touched on AI a little bit. Where does AI really come into play today? It's something that's been around for a little bit, but it's maturing. It's coming to life a little bit more, and we see this more and more peppered through many different types of ERPs today. Cash flow analysis is one of them, which uses a forecasting capability to be able to analyze cash flow and give to you what your cash flow needs to look like, or what does it actually look like today. Sales and inventory forecast. Business Central primarily already had sales and inventory forecasts in play, and just through the power of artificial intelligence, you can absolutely extend that to do some predictive analysis and know how you're going to be projecting that demand and which types of goods you need to order, which raw materials you need to bring in first, so you can make sure your production processes occur on time. Payment prediction forecast is one of those recent ones that got released, where you can predict using this particular AI when you're going to be getting your accounts receivable in. Image recognition, marketing text segmentation is another one that got recently released, and then bank reconciliation, matching, and suggestions. This is another very powerful AI technology, which all in all allows you to do a lot of work in a more streamlined approach and spend less time doing it. So 7 reasons why manufacturing businesses need an ERP. Why would you need an ERP? It's real-time access to your information. Every manufacturing business wants to make sure that you have your supplier, if there's a delay that's going to be experienced by a supplier in getting the raw materials to you, so you can schedule your production. You know that upfront. That allows you to manage the expectations of your customers who are waiting on a delivery from you, because they would have given you what their requested delivery date is for these goods to arrive. Integrated information is very powerful because if you just click a button in your system, you're able to see the inventory numbers. How much do I need to produce? What is my demand that has been created in the system? How many sales orders do I have? Based on the forecast that I have loaded in the system, what should my production schedule really look like? You can really manage your inventory a lot better if you have visibility through this connected system, because you can see your demand, you can see your forecast, you can see what do you currently hold in stock. So demand planning and forecasting essentially becomes a breeze for your business. If we just look at manufacturing and inventory-based businesses, these are the physical aspects of it, but then it also helps with your cost management. Landed cost, getting goods from overseas and making sure you got your landed cost approaches right. And all those costs then allow you to give yourself a better margin or predict the profitability of those goods that you're going to be selling and put a good price to it so you can make the margin that you need to make. And then again, customer satisfaction. With all of these things in place, you are still able to make sure that your customers ultimately are going to be satisfied with the service they get from your businesses, because you are able to make decisions better. Then again, if I look at an ERP that acts as a prime information gathering tool as well, and I've touched on this a little bit, with an ERP in place that is complete in nature, a proper ERP, you are able to see that information flow within the system through and through. If there was a warehouse worker who needed to understand when should I expect this delivery from a supplier, they will just go and look at the purchase order and look at that expected receipt date that they have put. And if that promised delivery date is changing, they will go ahead and update that and make sure all the other team members can also access that information. If someone is waiting on that product to arrive, you can obviously say there's a delay in place, manage that expectation of a customer, or let them know that we will be on time because the production is going to run on time, we'll receive everything, we will make this delivery for you. Where critical emergency situations occur, this continuous information flow really helps in translating all of this information into financial data that is absolutely usable by the business. And these insights really help you make really good decisions within your business. And I keep iterating the same fact. It's about harnessing that data to be able to make sound decisions within your business. Real-time business management. So with WISE, there are functional modules that we look at. So supply chain management is probably one of those key elements that we stress on a lot. It's about that unlimited scope for growth. There's no limitations because your ERP is set to scale with you as you grow as an organization. Microsoft-backed technology, so you know you are always safe, secure. There's adequate security around the Azure cloud, and there's Microsoft always promises a 99.9% uptime. So if you're on-premise solutions that are sitting somewhere in a server in your organization, then there's some thought process that needs to go into it, because if it's sitting in your server, is there a disaster recovery plan in place? How will you recover all that data should an unforeseen circumstance happen? But on a cloud-based technology, your risk of that is actually mitigated. And then you are able to have a chart view of your profitability and trace this accordingly with your costing. And then order fulfillment process, firm planning with your MRP and your MPS planning, making sure all your goods are going to come in at the right time, so you are able to schedule your productions and get the deliveries happening in time. Streamline procurement and procurement and fulfillment process, which allows you to make sure you're able to get the orders in time and fulfill those orders in time for your customers. I also wanted to share a small customer story that we have. Terramata Floors came to us from a very bespoke solution they had previously used and unconnected systems that have been on WISE for nearly 2 years. They've had a massive improvement in the way they operate their business, numbers to the tune of nearly 80% of their workflows have changed from the way they used to operate their business. They've gained efficiencies around the business and freed up labor costs up to nearly 40%, which allowed them to open up new stores and expand their business across Australia in many different states. This is a good news story because all it did was, for this particular business, the power of using an ERP to understand what are the goods they're actually buying, what are the costs for it, and then in turn trying to get it out to their customers, made sure that they were getting the right margin that they needed to make. They had adequate traceability into their financials. They were able to view their business in a much better light and be able to make decisions to move forward. So an ERP, in a nutshell, is really a powerful tool. And for any manufacturer, it helps you really make good decisions, gets you going in your business, gets all the products in at the right time, fulfills your orders for your customers, make sure your production schedules are running up and in normal time, you're not experiencing delays, you're able to handle these much better. I will not take too much of a time. As Vinay said, I have a flight to catch. So if there is any questions, I can quickly probably take another minute to answer them. If not, then Vinay, over to you.
If someone is not asking a question, I have a couple of questions for you, Ron.
Sure.
Okay, let's see. Anyone from audience would like to ask any question? Nope. The first question, Ron, I have is, as you mentioned, Wise, and I have been also seeing this product and been working onto it, and we're also working onto the Microsoft suite of products, business apps. A lot of times, our own team, sales team, and the customers has this dilemma: why Wise over Business Central, right? I would like to hear from you. I know the answer, but I would like to hear from you why.
It's a very good question, Vinay. Very good question. We differentiate ourselves in the market space because we've developed some very strong IP on top of Business Central, which makes us a very suitable ERP for the Australian market space. And recently we've expanded all of that IP that we built over the years into New Zealand as well, which means when you're setting up Business Central versus setting up Wise already has, this is just an example, Wise already has a whole stack of curated approaches that allow you to set up the system much faster than what you would do today in the Business Central world. So the experience a customer gets is there's a tailored journey. And even if you wanted to turn on features that we've developed, such as our payroll that we just integrated into the system, you would have a smart wizard that allows you to set up the payroll and have that integration working. So a customer can easily read through that wizard and understand exactly what they need to do and set this up really quickly. Another example is our Wise Warehouse on Time application, which deals with scanning solutions within warehouses. This in itself comes with a very beautifully designed wizard, which allows customers to click through, set this up, understand their warehouse, and then away they go. With a simple mobile device, they will be able to scan the goods in and out of their warehouses.
Great. I think there is a question coming through. Let's check. Yeah, so Antoine has a question. Does Wise have a job costing module for a service-based business, like labor, materials, and equipment requirements forecasting?
Specifically forecasting, you would have a jobs costing module just like you have in your Dynamics 365 Business Central, and you'll have your service module. But to forecast for what's going to be required within the jobs module, you might need to expand that capability a little bit. So forecasting will need to be extended on.
Yeah, great. But I can add to that with the base Business Central module available under the Wise, there is a job costing functionality which allows you to take care of a labor, material, and it also takes care from there you can create the forecasting, resource forecasting and resource allocation. I know Antoine, one of our customers, so to relate to their needs, we can definitely have this job costing module, job posting, and job codes, which will help to develop those forecasting requirements for their business. So that's definitely possible. Great, thanks. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for your time. I will not hold you long, but that was great insights, and I will take over the control now.
Yep.
And go into the next part of the session. So we now have Simon Wood from Bitzer. Let me get out of the presentation mode because it's going to be an interview and we will have great stories and topics to discuss. So let me stop sharing the presentation. I will come back to the presentation shortly, but let me put Simon in the spotlight for everyone. Sorry, Simon, to put you on a spotlight.
No problem.
Okay, welcome, Simon. Thanks for taking out time today afternoon. And uh, please tell me something about yourself shortly, that what role you play at Bitzer. And then probably I have a few questions which will help our audience to know what things to consider when they are getting into this journey into the manufacturing business.
Yep, no problem. My name's Simon Wood, Managing Director of Bitzer Australia. Bitzer are a global company. We employ around 4,000 employees globally, and we have a revenue of just over €1 billion. Here in Australia, we're around about a $50 million business, employ around about 80 people, and we manufacture refrigeration equipment. So the easiest way to explain that to people is generally when you walk into a supermarket and you see all the cabinets with chilled food and all those things, is our equipment is in the back room, so you never see us, but we make all those things nice and cold and keep things cold. And when you all sit in your little glass towers and apartment blocks, we also provide all the chilling for those types of buildings as well. So it's quite a technical and very engineered background to our business. A lot of the things we do are very bespoke as well. So we do have a standard product range, but the range would be probably 60% of what we do is standard, and 40% is all very customer centric and specific to them. So it's extremely technical business, which some of the things that Ron was just talking about in terms of meeting supply chain demand and things like that are really important to us, especially being an Australian manufacturer where things are extremely difficult or can be. And obviously from a cost point of view in Australia. So we were very keen to make sure we could manage and control our costs much better as well, which are all things that we've sort of gained from D365, and I'm sure Vinny's going to ask me questions about that in a minute.
Yes, yes. So just
but
to
there
give
are
a
other
bit,
things.
yeah, so just to give a bit of a background to everyone, Bitzer has implemented Dynamics 365 Finance, and they have migrated from the previous version of finance and supply chain management, which was an on-prem version called AX. And in that part of a journey, Bitzer decided to move to much more sophisticated and cloud application, and Dynamics 365 Finance and supply chain management was an obvious choice. So Simon, my question to you is, how the implementation of this ERP solution has impacted overall business processes?
In terms of overall processes, certainly it connected us all together more. We used to do a lot of things externally whilst we used to have as you say, the old AX system, there was very few dashboards and things in there. So everything was all taken out of the ERP and put onto Excel spreadsheets. Everyone was using different Excel spreadsheets, all those types of things that tend to happen. So by implementing D365, we brought everything into one place. So from a collaboration point of view, we were all looking at the same data. We're all looking at the same live data, rather than looking at an Excel spreadsheet that's 3 weeks old or things like that. So it made collaboration much easier. It improved a lot of our supply chain processes, particularly in warehouse management. From a financial point of view, certainly probably that's where we got the most benefits from, in terms of the visualization, the ability to see what we were doing live, and obviously controlling costs much better as well, and seeing where we'd got issues in production or in other areas of the business as well. So all those areas were really good for us, and I think probably overall the processes became much simpler as well and faster than what they were before.
Fantastic. And has the key performance indicators that has been met what you set out before going into the implementation?
Yeah, certainly, like I guess most businesses, we measure and monitor probably too much to a degree, or can do. So certainly we had quite a lot of key performance indicators in this project. Some we achieved, some we didn't achieve, as you do in, I guess, in everyday business. But overall, the KPIs and certainly what we set out as an objective with D365 when we implemented it and went cloud-based, we've certainly achieved and probably exceeded most of those KPIs now. It did take time for sure. We didn't start to achieve those KPIs right from the beginning because for people it was a new system. Yes, we made mistakes in terms of how we were using it and things like that. So certainly there's been some learnings. But in terms of KPIs now, after I think we were just talking earlier, we implemented it in 2018 and finished the project in 2019, and here we are in 2023, and we probably exceed all the KPIs that we put in place now.
Wonderful. What's the user feedback has been, the change from working through an Excel to now working through completely integrated system? What the user feedback has been?
Yeah, the user feedback to start with was, I guess, like most things, people don't like change, and I think that's an area that you need to be really cautious of when you're implementing this type of thing, is the change management part of it. Because to start with, we'd got people complaining to us, particularly people that had been in the business a long time, that it was easier in the old AX system, it takes longer in D365, all the usual things. But now, if you were to ask people, they will tell you that it's a lot better than AX used to be. It's more powerful. The complaint about things used to take them longer is now not an issue anymore because they're used to using the system. They know the process better. So in terms of user feedback, I would say most people in our business now would say how much better the system is. It provides more accurate information, and as we talked about before, it enables them to have better collaboration with each other as well, because they're all looking at the same data, the same formats and everything else. So it's certainly much better than what it was before.
Fantastic. And I know a lot of businesses, when I talk to the industry in manufacturing and to the leadership team, everyone is focused on getting the operations fixed, getting the systems for operations, which is at most important, no doubt about it, when it comes to manufacturing. But you went one step ahead and you wanted to give that experience to a customer, because you are like selling an engineering product, right? You're not just product, but commissioning and the services beyond the implementation. So you are focusing on to improving the customer experience, and we implemented the customer service module of Dynamics. What difference you have seen once that was implemented?
That was probably the largest or the biggest benefit we saw in the end, because certainly that system, that customer service system, enables us to obviously ensure that anything that comes into our business is dealt with in a timely manner. It also gives the customer the knowledge that they have a ticket number. They know exactly where it is in our business. They can log in at any time and see where it is, who's dealing with it, who that person is, and therefore, from a customer engagement point of view, they know exactly what's happening with their inquiry. It doesn't just disappear into a business and then 3 days later pop out of there. And as I said before, some things in our business are very technical, so they can take days, if not weeks, before we can actually provide an answer. But then there are other areas of our business where, for example, if a customer system breaks down and they've got a lot of chilled food, then obviously they want a solution within hours, not days or weeks, because there's $1 million worth of ice cream just been poured away. So again, from that perspective, we're able to categorize inquiries as they come into our business. So we can categorize them as extremely urgent or just a standard inquiry. So therefore, we're able to plan things around there. When it comes to the service side of the business, ensuring that, and as you know, Vinay, we invested a lot in IoT as well. So we look at a lot of remote monitoring of customer sites. So we generally know when something's going wrong before the customer even knows. So again, by using that customer service module, we were able to contact customers and get in direct contact with them before they even knew they had a problem, and tell them what the issue was, what parts they needed. That we could send them out to them, dispatch them, everything all straight away. So the customer feedback was that we went from a business that was, in some customers' views, difficult to deal with because of how technical we are, to a business that responds very fast, and it improved all our ratings with customers, and our customer satisfaction surveys and things now come back with high levels of and much increased levels of satisfaction than what we used to have.
I think that's the most important thing. I've been reading all the big businessmen, and they think that if you want to succeed in your business, focus on customer and put the technology to use over there, and you will see the results. I think that's a fantastic use case, and that's what I'm going to discuss into the next session. But before going into the next session, Simon, I have a couple of more questions. Just I'm being cautious of time. I know everything what you have said till now is nice, good stories, things been successful and all. I'm sure we had challenges. I would like to know what you would recommend for a business going onto this journey, either moving to Dynamics 365 Finance upgrade or completely getting into any new system. As a business, what you should be prepared for?
Yeah, for sure, Vinny, as you and I both well know, we did have some issues. I think the biggest and most important thing, if you are transitioning from an older ERP or even just installing an ERP for the first time, is the data integrity, because that's probably an area that we didn't put enough effort into up front, and that resulted in, at the beginning, the operation of the ERP system was very clunky because the data that we'd provided and given wasn't good. So certainly I would recommend to anyone that if you're doing that sort of thing, it may seem like a simple thing, and yeah, it doesn't matter too much, we'll just pull this data from here and this data from that, but the integrity of the data and the formatting of it, of how it's got to go into the new ERP system, is really important. And that's where if we were to do this type of thing again, then we would allow much more time to do that. I think we tried to do it in 3 months, and I think we'd have been better off trying to spread that data integrity and making sure it was accurate for at least 6 months before we started implementing into D365 and testing. And again, when you're testing, I would strongly suggest that you test complex processes in your system rather than just testing basic. We tested mainly basic processes, which works fine. And then once we'd gone live and we started doing the curly ones that don't come across very often, that's when we started finding that we had issues with D365. And it wasn't necessarily D365, it was just the way we'd either not given that information to you as an implementer versus what we thought we knew. And obviously, again, being an engineering business, we always think we know best as well. So, but certainly data would be a big focus.
Yeah, and now look, the reason is I always like to bring in this question because everyone talks nice things about it, but no one talks about what learnings, and we can't have better learnings from the person who has guided and implemented this project successfully. One last question, in this new era of AI, what's next phase for you as a manufacturing business?
Yeah, certainly we've adopted, and obviously part of the ERP was to adopt Industry 4.0 and everything else, and IoT, as you know. So we probably started 12 months ago looking at how we can implement AI into our business, and there are certainly a lot of places where we know and see we can do that, particularly from a supply chain point of view in terms of demand forecasting. So we've already started using a little bit of AI in there, and we'll continue to. Finance is another area where we see AI can be really useful to us as well in terms of predicting costs and things like that. And we've also implemented CPQ onto our D365 as well. So with AI supporting us in CPQ in terms of helping customers decide what they need and what they want, rather than having to talk to a human, we can see how we can use that from a perspective of asking simple questions via that CPQ process using AI, where we can start to get the right information so we can deliver the right product and things on time. So our objective is to, like I guess most businesses, automate as much as we can, but also intelligently automate it rather than just automating it now. So we're into that phase of how do we get a benefit from it rather than just purely automating to reduce the cost.
Fantastic. Thank you, Simon. Thank you for those great insights and talking to us about how you have been succeeded into this great journey. So I'm going to take you out of the spotlight now and you can be relaxed.
Okay, thank
Sorry
you.
for that. Let me see how I do that. Yeah, stop spotlighting. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. I think that was a great learning onto how you can have the maximum impact when you're getting onto this journey of moving from an ERP system, from one legacy system to adopting the latest technology. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to discuss more about, and this is something fantastic. I'm going to discuss about the customer service in the age of AI, right? As Simon mentioned, that it is very important for their business, though they are into manufacturing, those processes and they have been taken care. But what is important is how you satisfy a customer, and there are various ways of doing that, right? And in the age of AI, customer service is pretty important. So what Microsoft has is for past 40 years, it has been a story that agents collect the service delivery team basically has a method, the same method for support agents logging in, looking at cases, looking at history, trying to get information that they need to help a customer with a similar method of resolving issues and user experience as support agents. And now we are at the start of a new era of AI. That brought us one step closer, bridging the gap between humans and AI. The next generation of business applications and experience are about change for everyone that support customers, from sales, marketing, customer service, supply chain. And as Simon also mentioned that they're looking at demand forecasting and finance side where they can infuse AI into it to see what they can automate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one video. Just give me a moment. I'm going to play this video about a manufacturing company, a coffee machine, Microsoft's favorite example, and how a customer service works in that scenario.
Meet Claudia. She loves the Smart Brew coffee machine she bought from Contoso Coffee. She also has a subscription for coffee pods and wants to switch the pod flavors. She logs into the company portal and interacts with a chatbot that's powered by next-generation AI. Just pointing the chatbot to specific websites and internal knowledge base enables it to provide Claudia the flavor options with no additional authoring. Claudia selects dark roast, and the chatbot updates her subscription. Then she asks about mineral buildup on her coffee machine. Based on historical data, the chatbot knows this issue results in better CSAT when it's handled by a live agent. The AI-powered routing engine considers factors such as customer sentiment, estimated effort, agent skills and availability, then connects Claudia with Enrico, who is trained to address Smart Brew machine issues. Enrico gets a holistic view of the customer and case details, along with an inbox on his multi-session workspace. He can see his customer cases in the left panel, timeline and engagement in the middle panel, and AI and collaboration tools in the right panel. With AI infused at every step, Enrico is empowered to provide a fast resolution. He reaches out to Claudia on chat and clicks on Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Service to get a fast response. Copilot uses generative AI to search knowledge articles, internal documents, and SharePoint links, then suggests a response. Enrico can verify the source, then copy over the suggested response, making any edits needed, saving him valuable time. Their conversation is transcribed, and trained AI models provide highly accurate, qualitative metrics such as real-time sentiment. After reviewing the steps, Claudia has a follow-up question on warranty replacement. Enrico feels the concern is best addressed by elevating to a video call. Contoso Coffee agents can switch channels seamlessly based on customer choice. Enrico talks with Claudia to ensure her that he understands the concern. He doesn't know the answer to her warranty question, so he quickly initiates a support swarm. In the swarm, AI automatically adds specialists from across the company. They see Enrico's question in Microsoft Teams and respond that it is indeed covered. Enrico confirms the warranty coverage to Claudia, then closes the call and includes a quick feedback survey in the chat. Claudia is satisfied with the service experience and provides a 5-star rating. Enrico's manager reviews all the feedback and gets a dashboard view of AI-driven customer channel and conversational analytics. She can review individual agents' performance and identify emerging issues, improve metrics such as first call resolution and CSAT. This helps her run the business fast and lean. With easy-to-use admin tools, she can quickly deploy a simplified, modern service infrastructure. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Service enables Contoso Coffee to personalize the service experience, make work more effortless for agents, and optimize service operations.
So great use of technology, right? And use of AI in these days where AI has become so imminent that the new users and agents, the new generation coming into the workforce, they need this advanced technology to work. So one of our customer, I would like to share a quick story over here. AHBA is our customer, one of the biggest mattress manufacturing company in Australia, and they have a legacy. The important thing with mattress is, the warranty period, and it comes with a long warranty period of 10 years. The way their business is model is they have retailers through which they sell. And whenever a customer has an issue with their mattress, they used to get in contact with a manufacturer, but they were finding it difficult to have all that insights. At the same time, retailers used to complain that it is important to serve their customers and have that transparency that tickets or requests raise. Are you been serving those customers? So with this problem in mind, we came up with a solution. So they were using Dynamics 365, not 365, an old CRM, and we helped them migrate to Dynamics 365 customer service. And we implemented a customer portal. So you can go to the AHBA website right now and you will see a customer portal experience where you can log in your mattress that you have bought. It's like log in your laptop or a printer for the manufacturer warranty. And from there, if you have an issue with the mattress, you can log in a ticket onto their portal. It also updates the retailer that their customers has logged in the ticket, and they can see how those tickets has been addressed. And in the backend, AHB would be having a national operations. They have around 50 plus people into the service team, customer service team, and they have been serving their customers quite effectively with the use of Dynamics 365 customer service and getting a great customer satisfaction at the end. Not only that, it has also helped them to route their contractors who help to either go and replace the mattress or go and repair the mattress. So those are all various business cases. Just cautious of time. We have gone a bit on overtime, so I will going to rush through a bit. Power Platform, that's what I wanted to discuss. I hope everyone has heard of Power Platform. Give me a thumbs up if you have heard of Power Platform. So Power Platform, basically a low code, no code platform where it helps your business to develop applications pretty quickly. And I have many cases to discuss about it, but why one should go for a Power Platform? It is for improving your employee experience, where it can extend the line of business applications to the next level. And I will talk about certain cases, reduce your cost of development and time to the market. It is secure, scalable app development. So you can also have citizen developers, which is a concept where you can have your employees, individual people, say in a finance or at a shop floor or in an inventory, they are doing in, day out. They can think of what they need as an application and extend that application and connect back to the ERP system that they are working on. So that allows to scale and securely develop and integrate the system. With Power Platform, you will think that I don't want to take this to the business because I don't want an extra headache of further how it is going to be managed, whether it is compliant or not. You don't need to worry about it. Microsoft has taken care of it from the security, compliance, and governance perspective. So it is quite a scalable platform. And why, in what cases you will use Power Platform? So if you want to use if you want to do application modernization, you can do that. So I'm working with one company right now, which is into process manufacturing, and they have probably number of tanks in their chemical process manufacturing, and they keep monitoring that. And they are using for that monitoring and maintenance of their production on those tanks. They are using a FileMaker application, which is, I believe, a Mac technology, but they were finding challenges because it is not latest technology. And it has been developed by a single person. This is what I've been hearing from a lot of businesses, that legacy system in your business been built by a single developer who was working as an IT manager there. He has developed a fantastic system at that time, but now it is at risk because the person is aging, there is no support for it, and the business is at total risk. To modernize those application, Power Platform is a great framework or a platform on which you can develop and extend. So we are doing such kind of a projects as well. You can also extend line of a business. So when I say extend line of a business is, we have been doing compliance system, right? So one of our customer for whom we implemented Business Central, they wanted to manage their supplier, and for them to maintain their compliance, they need to have their suppliers insurances, their supplier certificates, like trade certificates, whether you are certified electrical person or not, and are you maintaining right certification, are you maintaining right insurances or not. It is a compliance issue. So we develop a Power App, Power Portal, where suppliers can update their information and the business can maintain their compliance requirement. Same way you can do a lot of other things like timesheet management. And I think wherever you're talking about service, if you want to extend that timesheet management module and get back into the finance system, ERP system, or a CRM system for your billing to the customer or for the payment of those contractors, you can develop a Power App and extend the timesheet application to those users. So there are many use cases and individual businesses can be taking advantage of. What next? We have been discussing a lot about ERP system, finance, use of Business Central, Wise as a product, and the Power Platform. We also discussed about AI. There is a whole lot of AI that is coming, AI wave that has come up, and Microsoft has a great tools and technologies available. What next? We have partnering with Microsoft, Exigo being the solution partner. We have access to the programs where, depending on to what stage of business you are, we can have this program available, like envisioning workshop. You have a problem statement, you don't know the roadmap, how to move through this problem statement, what technology required. We will sit down with you, we will develop this roadmap, and we will come back to you with a proposal of how we can proceed with this roadmap. That's envisioning workshop. Then there is a business value assessment. You have a specific department, a specific problem, and you know what needs to be achieved, but how and what technology to be used and how much it costs to create a business case. We work with you on a couple of workshops, derive the solution, the technology used, the expected investment, and produce a report which you can submit back to your management or a board for an approval. Similarly, we have solution assessment and tailored demo. So reach out to me to discuss more about it. And if you are already onto the legacy system of Microsoft business applications like Navision or AX or CRM on Online 2011, there is a great offer available from Microsoft. Now, all these programs of assessments are free for a customer. These are partner and Microsoft partner led and delivered and Microsoft funded. So reach out to me to discuss more about these programs in detail. Being into this age of AI and this Copilot thing in market, with a lot of possibilities and great. We have certain programs on Copilot readiness assessment and Microsoft Fabric readiness assessment. I think pretty important considering the data which is required for AI and other aspects of it. We have a readiness assessment, so you don't know how to proceed, which is very important. I was meeting customers along with our managing director Vivek yesterday to few businesses in Melbourne, and a lot of conversation came along this, how to start with Copilot, and businesses don't know. And in last week, our visit to Microsoft Seattle, where we had discussed with the experts who has actually designed Copilot and all. And the things comes up is data, get your data tagged properly, put the security around it, and then go with the AI Copilot. I think that's the best approach to go, and making sure that your team is using the Copilot at a great with a great efficiency, but at the same time, you are not exposing data to the external world, as well as the people are getting the data required for their function and not getting the confidential or commercial information which they are not supposed to get. So great use. I think this assessment program will help you with the use case to get along with it. If you want, if you're not sure with the sales and customer service, we have a startup programs as well for the quick implementation, which can be implemented in weeks and not months. I have curated certain resources. So after this particular session, I would be sending out, you would be receiving this particular PowerPoint presentation, as well as we will be hosting this data onto the our YouTube channel. So from there, you can see this video and the webinar, and you can have a look at this particular resources. That's all from my end. I think, sorry, I have taken a bit of a time. Any questions? I can see some questions in line, and I think there's a good conversation going between the participants, which is great. Let me see the questions. Does WISE job costing? I think that has been answered. Stacy asked the questions, and that has been answered as well. Great. I think a lot of questions has been answered. Feel free to reach out to me and stay tuned. We would be having the next episode. Our next event is, remember, third Thursday, 3 p.m. every month. That's what our promise is, to get the technology and empower businesses. And our next event is on Microsoft Copilot, business applications, and modern workplace. So must attend, I would say, and you would be getting invite for the next event as well.